Hi, welcome!
We are looking at 100 Acre Wood Fluxx from Looney Labs. Normally we can show you how to play, but this game's pretty simple. I'm just going to tell you how it plays. You are going to get dealt 3 cards. On your turn, you're going to draw a card and play a card initially. At some point, you're going to get new rules that will possibly allow you to draw new cards, play more cards, maybe even do different things to play cards, maybe a way of being able to play more cards. So forth and so on, using those cards in different ways. But it's basically chaos madness going on until someone accomplishes the goal at any point in the game, even if it's not your turn. If you have the keepers, someone plays a goal, and you have those keepers, you win because they played the goal. That is the long and short of it. So they each have a different theme, and as I said, this is 100 Acre Wood Fluxx, which means this is Winnie the Pooh theme, which is a theme that Bryde the Bryde really loves, as you can tell. So we are going to get into what our thoughts are of this themed version of Fluxx, starting with you.
Yay! Well, obviously, my first initial reaction was, woohoo! Eeyore! I'm a big, huge Eeyore fan.
Alright, so obviously we can tell what her thoughts are on the theme. It's the theme that she absolutely loves. So the main difference when you get to different themed Fluxxes are there's different action cards, different goals, obviously different keepers, because you're not going to be having like chemistry keepers in the Winnie the Pooh version, so the keepers are, and thus the goals are different. So talking about those different cards and how they're typically themed around the theme, themed. What did you think in relation to the new actions and new rules and such?
Well, the big main difference is the new meta rule, and that is you get to use plushies. You get to play with plushies, so they take on a player. So you could be playing with 2 human players, and then you could play
a max of 2 plushies.
Yes. You could play 2 plushie players, and that was really kind of a cool concept. Yeah. I thought it was kind of neat, and it's one of those 2 that it adds another step of randomness, another layer of randomness, I guess you could say, because obviously they're players, so they get dealt a hand, but to play, they don't look at the cards, you don't look at a card, you just randomly pick a card, lay it out. So you don't know what they have, you don't know what they're going to play, what keepers, anything like that. So that was kind of cool, where it added that complete randomness to it.
And then what basically happens is each plush is assigned a human player companion, I believe it's called, which if a decision needs to be made based on the card, then that player human will choose it for them, but otherwise it's random. And I will mention, because this is a meta rule, you don't have to play with it for the game. It is something that is optional. Yeah,
we played a couple of games, just the 2 humans, and then we played a couple with the plushies, and yeah, I thought it added that extra layer of
fun with it is, we're just having that little random draw. There are also a couple of, I believe, action and rule cards that pertain to the plushies, like they get to draw more cards, and their human player companion, I'm pretty sure, right?
It's
their player
the
human companion.
Draw 2, the
primary human companion. They get to draw an extra card, so there's stuff that kind of plays on that meta rule as well. And then there's some that refer to, if you aren't even playing with the plush player, then this is what happens. So it's not like you have to take that out for that to be in there.
So that's the big main difference. Then they have a couple that is it's kind of cute because it's not geared towards kids, but the one, it's Let's Pretend, where you get to use your imagination, which is actually kind of...
It is thematic because it's like his pretend friends and such, so they were able to have that kind of nice thematicness with it.
Yeah. And then the groom's favorite new action card.
Yeah, I'll have to really look through the Fluxx games, but as of right now, this definitely holds the top one. It's called Expedition to the North Pole, and it's basically you play it, and then you just start flipping cards. And if it's a keeper, you're going to keep it, and then your turn, or then that action ends. Otherwise, you're going to discard everything else. However, if another action card comes up, you're going to do the action as if you played it. So you could be going through and just playing action card after action card, and just doing all this crazy madness. So it's like a card that can actually trigger a bunch of extra actions, and that's the stuff I really enjoy, where you're not having to do the play all card, but you can do this and then trigger where you're just possibly playing it. Or Keeper might pop up at first. Then it's that, but like that's the coolness and madness that is Fluxx. Yes. And then kind of along that line, there is a new rule I think I've never seen in a Fluxx before. So they have play all but one, that's always been in there, and play all. But this one had a play all plus one. So you play all of the cards in your hand, and then you play the top card of the deck. Like I said, this is the first time I personally remember seeing it. So that was really cool. And then what other ones do you like?
And then there was another, it's a new rule, not an action. It's rhyme time. So it's, what is it? If you take an extra card if you speak in a rhyme. All the time.
Well, I think if you speak in rhyme a second time, you play an extra card.
Yeah. Yep. If you make an extra rhyme, then you get to take that extra card.
Yeah, so if you can do 2 rhymes, you get to draw an extra and play an extra. So like we said, that's kind of the new rules that can just pop up in other Fluxx games, just maybe not in that capacity. In this one, with it being themed for Winnie the Pooh and storytelling.
Yeah.
But with the cards, we would say some of the artwork, which obviously is subjective, was a little different than we were probably expecting. So some of them looked a little odd for us personally.
Some of the characters I was not really that big of a fan of. Eeyore, I don't know if it was because I was used to like the classic Eeyore, or if he just looked weird
with the mohawk. It was like a weird amalgamation of possibly a couple different Eeyores. It wasn't the classic. It wasn't like the new Disney one everyone's used to. It was kind of like a little combination of both.
Yeah, and then Tigger, they got Tigger pumped up, like pumped up. Tigger's not a pumped up character. He looks like he's about to
throw some hands.
Yeah. And then Rue looks a little mean. I will tell you that much.
Like a little weird, crazy kangaroo ninja type of guy.
Yeah.
So I mean, some people may not see that. For us personally, like when we saw him, we're like, holy jeez, Tigger's coming after you. So.
Yeah. But the actual like scenery artwork, I thought that was really cute.
Yeah, like they have all the different homes in it. They have 100 Acre Woods and all that. All that still looks really nice. It's well drawn.
Pine, trees, things like that.
It was really just these few characters that was kind of like alrighty.
Yeah. So. Like I said, it was just maybe because you're used to having that certain, the classic or the modern, whereas this kind of looks like an interpretation.
Yeah, kind of a new interpretation of it. But so again, art subjective and all that.
Those are about the big changes, the big,
Yeah, this one definitely did seem to put a greater twist than some of the other Fluxxes. Some of the other Fluxxes we played were like, oh yeah, it's kind of close. It's tweaked here and there, but like we said, the meta rule. That's a huge change. The expedition to the North Pole, I don't think I've really ever seen much that comes close to that. So, overall, I don't know where this stands yet in my rankings of Fluxxes. I will be doing that at some point after I'm done playing them all solo. If you want to see those solo plays, it's up there. Along with we've done a couple plays, and basically any coverage that we've done of Fluxx will be in that playlist right there.
Yeah, I think we're at 22 Fluxxes that we not on the channel, but 22 Fluxxes that we have all together.
Yeah, I think we own 22 of them.
22 or 23.
I know we have Fluxx dice we've never done, and the Fluxx board game. So, but I would say overall, as a game, I definitely did enjoy this one. So.
Oh, I did. I definitely did too.
I would probably put this at an 8 out of 10. Personally, it was definitely one I've enjoyed. It's definitely one I'd suggest to people. It's definitely one I could see us grabbing and playing, throwing in our go bag for out at the breweries. It says Plush. Do you think we could have a bear be a player?
Sure, we can find a stuffed plush or a stuffed beer somewhere.
Well, yeah, it's Winnie the Pooh. Anywho, so what is that, your score? Would you go an 8 or?
I would say so. I I'd say about a 7, between a 7 and an 8.
All right.
The only reason for that is kind of like I said,
the art for you.
yeah.
So there we go. Miss straddling the line there is a 7 and 8. I am more firmly at an 8 because the Fluxx for me in general is an 8. So
Yeah.
this is definitely at the same level. It doesn't like go down at all. It's a good Fluxx level. So as most of them are, and then it's just grab the theme that you enjoy.
Definitely.
So from me, Hort Gully, Eeyore, and the Bryde.
Thanks for watching, and definitely make sure that you check out our channel and our other videos and subscribe so that you know when new ones are coming out.
And we also now have a Ko-fi, so as we said, we might play us with a drink, so you can go ahead and buy us that drink that we could use as a player character.